All right, so what we're doing now is kind of giving you some understanding of another component in After Effects called expressions. And so that's a very advanced component in After Effects. And I just want to kind of explain to you how it works. And then if you are inclined, you can bring more of these types of studies into your own training with After Effects. So here I have this ball on the screen, and the ball is wriggling in its position. It's also wriggling in its scale, and it's wriggling in its opacity. And I did this using something called an expression. The expression was called wiggle. Now in this particular case, there are no keyframes. It's all done with the expression. And I use the same expression in 3 values: in the position, the scale, and the opacity. So let's start a comp from scratch and let's work together. So I'm going to start with the blue screen. I'm going to draw a shape. I'm going to click and drag down and make a shape on the screen. I'm going to grab my pen behind tool. Now I have to click on the layer, grab that pen behind tool, place that in the center of the shape, and then I want to align the shape horizontally and vertically through the center. Now, I'm going to go down to transform, and I'm going to put my cursor over the stopwatch. On the Mac, it's Option click. On the PC, it's Alt click. So I'm going to Alt click. That opens up a new unit inside of After Effects where I can type in expressions. So you see there's a bunch of little buttons here. If I click this little plus right there, you'll see that it lists all the different types of expressions, and basically it's a programming language, right, that I can create. If some people, if they're comfortable with doing this type of language programming, then they can use this very effectively. Of course, you'd have to spend a little time. It's based on JavaScript, right? So instead, I'm going to write this expression to transform the position from scratch. And I'm going to use a command called wiggle. So I'm going to type in the word wiggle. Then I'm going to hit the parentheses, and I'm going to type 2, 50. And then there's the other parentheses. I'm going to step over the parentheses, and I'm going to close it by hitting the semicolon. And that's my expression. And I just click away. So I've put in the expression for this circle to wiggle. And there it is, it's wiggling. Now, that expression can be modified. Right now it's wiggling 2 times a second. If I click into there and I change it to 10 times a second, the wiggle is going to be more violent, right? Now I can take that expression, select it, right click, copy it, and I can paste that into the scale. Right, Option or Alt click, and then paste that in, and now the object's scale is moving in addition to its position. And the second number is the variable, how far it's varying. So let's say I make that 100 instead of 50. That's how much the shape is going to vary. All right, let's go down to opacity. And I'm going to Alt click on opacity and paste that into opacity. And that's going to change how much the shape gets visible and invisible over time. And in this case, we used a very simple expression, wiggle, and we've applied it into the position, the scale, and the opacity of an object. And so the expressions are a whole nother part to After Effects. Now, I personally am a designer and an artist. I've never been comfortable with doing a lot of heavy programming. But for those of you who like that environment, there's a whole world of expressions available to you.